Hi, I'm Jules Haines and this is How I Live with Style. I live with my family, my husband Ollie and my two children, Edward and Jemima, and of course my dog Penny. When we moved in 8 years ago, we were really passionate about bringing the house back to what it should be. It was something that I knew was just going to be a long-term project. I didn't want to put any pressure on myself to do everything really quickly. There's something really special about old buildings. You can feel the history, there's a warmth, there's a story behind it, and that's for me is what it's all about. This is our sitting room and it's the most used room in the house. The sofa is really old actually. It's an old sofa.com sofa from about probably 15 years ago. We need to get it recovered, but at the moment the kids are young and I don't care what happens. I love it because it's a really big sofa. Means that my husband and I can both lie flat, watch a bit of TV, and also the kids can be on top of us, so there's room for everyone. We have this beautiful original marble fireplace that was painted black. So I actually stripped it myself. One of those things that I had no idea what I was doing. You go on YouTube and you just think, well, what could be worse? Worst case scenario is it goes wrong and you get the professionals in. I've also got this massive bow above the fireplace. Somebody got in touch with us who makes lampshades on a big volume and said to us, we've got loads of surplus silk, do you want it? So I went to go and have a look. These beautiful sort of jewel-like colours. And so I bought some, and then this is 7 meters of fabric. I mean, it feels a bit extravagant to put up 7 meters of fabric, but basically it was going to end up in landfill otherwise. So I've just tied it in a bow and I've stuffed it with old newspaper, and this time of year when it's a little bit cooler, coming into the sort of festive season, it's really great to have a bow. So I was quite brave and painted the room brown. My husband said to me, are you sure this is going to work? And actually, how can you be sure? It's a natural paint, Edward Bulmer natural paint. It's called Mummy, and it just adds to the warmth of this room. With my shelves, when I first put them in, I thought, oh, you know, we'll fill them with books. And actually what I really love to do is make space for objects that I love. To me, each one actually really means something. This one I particularly love. I've just found it in a charity shop. It's got a face on the back, so you can actually move it around. We've got some old urns here, which I inherited, and I just love them. There's something about having anything old in the room. It really sort of grounds it. This is our kitchen dining space. This is a table that is made out of wooden planks, and we used to live in Singapore. So it came back from Singapore with us, and I just really love it. And part of the reason that I really love it is because it's got metal legs underneath that just screw in, and you can actually take the whole table off. So for me, it meant that if I wanted to replace it, I've seen some beautiful sort of old doors that make brilliant tables. It just meant that it was a really versatile piece. These chairs I bought off Facebook Marketplace. I almost had to leave 2 of them behind because it's like Tetris, trying to fit it all in my car. And I just stripped them down, and these are fabric remnants that I just had. They were left over from somebody who made some banquette seating. As you can see, they're different colours, same designer. I quite like the mixture, and then I just put some rickrack on it. I mean, a glue gun and a staple gun are your best friends. If you don't have them in the house, make sure you put them on your Christmas list. We've got a wood burning stove here. It's a gas stove. In the winter, it's lovely and cozy. It didn't have a particularly decorative fireplace. It did actually have shelving in the coves. So I took the shelves off and then I've just rotated them. So now they're vertical rather than horizontal, and I screwed them into the wall and added a bit of beading and then just painted them. So I've sort of created this surround, and then luckily found a local artist who was able to make it look a lot more beautiful than I would have been able to. I love going to charity shops, I love going to antiques fairs, and I have collected these plates. This is a great example of how you can have an idea in mind and just as time goes by, months, years, you'll collect towards that idea until it's complete. I'm ever evolving this space to make it work for me. I've been here for 8 years and probably took me about 6 years to work out what looks best. And I think that's really important, not to put any time pressure on getting your house right straight away. So this is the kitchen, and it's actually a kitchen that we inherited. It's a very old IKEA kitchen. It's probably almost 20 years old, so it's definitely due a revamp. But you kind of have to live with what you've got, and so I've really tried to make the most of this space without having to do too much at once. We've put stripes on the walls, so it was just a plain white space, and I wanted to do something to make it more interesting that wasn't going to cost a lot of money, and luckily somebody had some leftover paint. I've covered these cupboards in OSB board because before the cupboard sort of stopped about here, but I added on these big tall doors, so it meant the top of the cupboard could actually be a shelf, so created more storage. All the pulls are all old leather belts. I went to a charity shop, chopped up some belts and just bought some big bolts, cut a hole and then just bolted them through. I love having a kitchen island, it's so useful. This one isn't quite big enough to have people sat around it, but saying that, my daughter decided that she wanted to be able to sit up here to be part of the cooking and everything going on. So I did find this old cupboard. Had a door on the front which I took off, and then I just repainted it. We use it for all our cookbooks, and then I just added a bit of foam that I had lying around and a scrap of material, and now she sits on here every day for her breakfast. I came up with this idea, it was actually from an exhibition that I saw in a museum, and using bungee cord, I've run it up and down. It's kind of a bit like threading a needle through fabric, which I also love. Every time I walk down here, I run my hands down this, and obviously the kids like to stretch it as well. So this is the master bedroom, and obviously the main focal point is the bed. It's an all natural bed from Natural Mat, and when I got it, I knew that I really wanted to make a canopy to go above the top. So firstly, I started collecting the fabrics, and I really wanted to source an antique piece of wood. So luckily I found one in an antique shop in New York and drew it all out and basically made it up as I went along, but it came together really nicely. One of my favourite parts of this room is the twin chairs that are in the bay window. Firstly, the material on them is actually some 1970s John Stefanidis original fabric. The colours are just beautiful and they're so intense, and the way that it's been printed, it just blew me away when I first saw it. I found somebody who took my children's drawings and she stitched them, embroidered the exact drawing from my son and my daughter, and I put them on these cushions. So in my room I can sit in bed and look at these two, and one of them's a really sweet crocodile and the other one is my daughter who's done hearts. They were very young, but they are something that's really special to me. I have a selection of picture frames here, but for me they're not just for pictures, they're also for my children's art, little notes, drawings and things like that. So I've actually got a sweet note that my daughter wrote for my wedding anniversary a few years ago. I think having these little messages and you get to walk past them, be reminded of them, are still really special. This is our family bathroom and I absolutely love it, and it's mainly because of the wallpaper I ended up choosing. It's a coal and sun and it's got leaves and snails and shells, and it's just a really lovely, relaxing nature view when you are sitting in the bath. I also put a tongue and groove underneath it so that we didn't have too much wallpaper. The blind behind me is a really lovely vintage woven stripe, and it's one of those things, I've had it in my stash for ages. I love collecting, I love searching, particularly for textiles, and it's the kind of thing that if you love textiles, you'll just keep adding to your stash until the perfect project comes. And finally, we are in my daughter's bedroom. I've actually made some really lovely canopies to go above her bed. It's literally just a piece of fabric. I've just neatened off the edges and a couple of curtain rods on each side, and they're literally that easy, and just put a couple of hooks in the ceiling and that's it. She absolutely loves them. I love this light fitting that we've got in here as well. It's a 1930s sort of American style carousel. What I love about it is it's got these tiny little delicate animals going around it, all hand painted, and I actually sort of upcycled it a little bit myself. It did need some touching up and I added some little sort of bobbles along it. Also in here I've got a really lovely old vintage desk that my daughter can use to do her homework, and when she's a bit older she can use it for putting on her makeup and things like that. It's really something that I'm conscious of. Everything that I'm buying I can evolve as she evolves. And these are metal beds from the original bed company. I particularly love them because they're kind of got that nostalgic feel of old school iron beds. But what's really great is you can get them painted any colour you like. So I chose, I think it was a colour match from a little green paint company, and had this fabric that's from one of my favourite designers, and I just thought the whole colour worked really well. Adding these cushions on as well, a really nice sort of dark navy blue, which also ties in with this. So again, we've got one fabric that pulls all the colours together. Thank you so much for looking around my home. It's been really fun, and don't forget to subscribe to the Sunday Times Life and Style YouTube channel.